groundwater as common pool resources, it's never easy to manage because you don't see people's activities in the first place, and because it's a common resource in the second place. So you have those two problems. If you take the last 5 or 6 years, those were hard years. What made them harder is that the groundwater was already depleted. So those are resources that can serve as safety nets. One of the first projects that we got engaged in was supposed to deal with the aquifer contracts in Morocco and basically trying to understand how they work, how they don't work sometimes, and kind of build some knowledge that can help refine the policy. So the project itself is an appraisal for this experimental substitution for inclusive groundwater management aquifer contract project in Morocco. The doctoral student who's working on that is Mrs. Rachida El Mansoum, and we are also being supported in that project by a colleague from McGill University, Hassan Benchekroun, who is a professor in the Department of Economics there. This work, goes in 3 steps, if you will. The first step, based on more of qualitative approach, to go on the field, meet with farmers, not as much as like in hundreds, just some 28 farmers for that matter, and discuss with them and see how they perceive aquifer contracts, how they perceive climate change, so that you can get an idea from different situations with regard to water scarcity, with regard to the availability of groundwater, and with regard to the availability of surface water or alternative water sources. So it was interesting to have those discussions with them, and it helps to improve our approach for the whole project, which was basically the leading reason why we started with the qualitative approach. The second step in the project was simulating a game theory, game theoretical framework, simulating that people in this situation are engaging in a collaborative or cooperative use versus when they are engaging in a more strategic use of groundwater, or in a situation where they're just being myopic. So you use those kind of frameworks, if you will, to see how it's going to affect the welfare, the benefits, the incomes to the farmers on one hand, and you also look at its effects on the resource on the other hand. The more fundamental one in our study is basically to organize a field experiment, and for that matter we have developed theoretical model, and we are basically in the stage of planning the field experiments. The data once collected will allow us to kind of check which one of those markers, which behavior describes better the attitudes of farmers basically. So you put them in such a situation where they have to decide how much of the resource they're going to use, and basically based on their answers you can check in which type of behavior they fall. To make the right arbitrage you need to have the right information. Those kind of studies give you an idea about the value of water, the economic value of water, and that's going to be helpful later on to make those kind of decisions.